Hi everyone, it is Pam from YourMorningBasket.com, and I'm coming to you guys today to give you a little tour of my Morning Time binder. This is my cherry green binder. It helps me to have a better attitude in the morning. Most mornings I like it. And inside, this is where I keep everything I need to do my morning time. I like to have everything all in one place, and this binder actually lives in my morning time basket. You can see over here, I never used to remember to mark off my attendance record, and so now I have the attendance record from Plan Your Year printed out, and I keep it tucked in this front pocket of the binder so that every morning I remember to mark our attendance for our state requirement. On this side of the binder, I have my morning time plan. Now this is one of the planning forms that comes with the Your Morning Basket guide, and I've just written mine out by hand. You can also type in these, save them, print them. They look real pretty, but I was planning, and sometimes it's better for me when I plan to just write it out by hand, and so that's what I've done here. So I have my plan in the very front of my binder, so I know what I need to do each day. And we do morning time on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at our house. Okay, so you can see that I have a series of tabs, and also that things are in page protectors in here. A lot of the things are in page protectors. I like page protectors because it protects the memory work and keeps it from getting grungy. But I've got special tabs. These are called wide tabs, and you can find them. It'll say on the package that they'll stick out past a page protector. You have to find special ones that'll do that, or you won't be able to see your tabs past your page protectors. So if you go to edsnapshots.com/morning time resources, I link to some of these tabs for you under the general resources, so they'll be easy for you to find. Okay, so behind my morning time plans in the front, I just have some general things here that really don't fit under any tab. I have a few pages from our birding study this year from Simply Charlotte Mason. These are not in page protectors so that we can write on them when we see specific birds. So these didn't really have a home. I put them in the front of our binder. I also have my reference sheets from Squilt, which is the music appreciation curriculum that we use, and you're supposed to print out these reference sheets for your students, and so I have 2 copies of these for both of my readers in the front of the binder, so they can have those when we work on Squilt. I can just take those out and hand them to them. All right, so the very first tab we come to is the Daily tab, and you probably can't see it up there, but it says Daily. And under the Daily tab, we have the memory work that we are currently working on every day. Now, we are a member of a classical co-op, and we get a new set of memory work every 2 weeks. And so for us, this is what stays in this part of the binder for 2 weeks during the time that co-op is in session. So during those 2 weeks, we'll work on this particular set of memory work. If you're memorizing scripture or a poem, you would have one poem here or one passage of scripture, and you would work on it in this spot until you were finished memorizing it and you were ready to move it to a review spot. But for us, that's what's under the Daily tab. And so in a couple of weeks, we'll change this out and move this to review, whether we have it perfectly or not. The other thing I have under the Daily tab is our geography. So these are the geography places that we're learning this year, and then also the maps. And you can see this is already looking grungy where my kids have been doing their map drill. This is under Daily because we do our map drill every day. And you can see there's the kids' copies, and then here's the copy I made for them to use as a reference when they're doing their map drill. So that's under the Daily tab as well, because we do that every day. Okay, so after our daily tab, where I have all of our daily work for review, comes the day of the week tabs in my binder. And we do morning time 4 days a week. We have co-op on Tuesdays. So I have a day of the week tab for Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And there are a couple of different things behind those day of the week tabs. The first thing behind each day of the week tab is a piece of memory work for review. This is a piece of memory work that we learned last year or the year before, and I like to keep these in periodic review so that we keep them in our memory. If we go too long without reviewing these, we forget them. And so this happens to be Oberon's speech, one of his speeches from A Midsummer Night's Dream. And I just have it here. I haven't put this one in page protectors, but it's here under the Monday tab. And right now, this term, we are reviewing this old piece of memory work. Now, what I do is I trade those out every term. So a term for us is 6 weeks long. And so every Monday for 6 weeks, we're going to review this particular piece of memory work. After that 6 weeks is up, another piece of memory work will come in here for review. And I'll show you where I store those and how I do that in just a moment. The other thing under the Monday tab is our current year's memory work for review. So remember back under the daily tab, I showed you the current week's memory work from our co-op, and we actually take 2 weeks to learn this. And that was what we were doing every day. Once that piece of memory work moves out and is replaced by a different week, then we start reviewing that under the daily, under the day of the week tabs. And so this happens to be science, and science is short, so I also have math on Monday. And so what would happen is when I replace that week 1 memory work with week 2 up front, then on Monday, we're going to review week 1 of science and week 1 of math, along with our old passage. So yes, this also means when we get to week 7 of our memory work up front, we'll come and we'll review weeks 1 through 6 of science and weeks 1 through 6 of math. And then when we get over here to say week 14, 15, 16, 17, we will be reviewing those early weeks, but that would be the point where I would let some of those very earliest weeks drop off some, because at that point we would know them really, really well. So we'll be reviewing all of the current year's memory work in science and math on Monday. Under the Wednesday tab, you can see we have an old piece for review, and that is the day we review the current year's work of Latin. Under Thursday, we have an old piece for review. These are 4 short poems, and you can see that is also the day we review poetry for the current year. Okay, Thursday is also the day we do hymn study. And so I've also put our hymns in here for Thursday, and I've put in 3 copies of our current hymn that we'll be using to sing every Thursday. So our readers in the house all have a copy of that. And then on Friday, you can see we have another older set for review, and then we have grammar. This is our year's worth of grammar that we'll be reviewing every Friday. So that is how the day of the week tabs work. Next, we have the review tab, and this is where I keep all of the old memory work from years past that will be cycling into those tab spots this year. So at the end of the first 6 weeks terms, I'm going to go in and pull out those, it's essentially 4 old pieces for review, and I'm going to put them in the back of this section. I'm going to pull the next 4 pieces from the front, and I'm going to slide them into those day of the week tabs that we just talked about, and then we'll review those. And then the second 6 week term, when it is over, I'll do the same thing again. I'll pull out the old ones and tuck in some new ones. And believe it or not, I don't have enough to get me all the way through the year here, so we will cycle back through and review some of those pieces a second time. Okay, the final section of my binder is the new tab. And this is the place where I already have all of the new memory work that we're going to learn this year printed out, put into page protectors in the very back of the binder. And I find this is absolutely essential to my success with recitation and my memory work binder, that all of this stuff be printed out at the beginning of the year, slid into a page protector, and put into the back of the binder, so that when the time comes, all I have to do is take it out of here and slip it into the daily tab. If I don't have it done ahead of time, inevitably I get behind and run behind a few weeks in getting it put in there, and things don't get done as they should. So it's a very important thing for me to have those put into the binder at the start of the year. And there you have it. There is the tour of my morning time binder. Everything I need right here to make sure that our morning time gets off to a great start each and every day. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at pam@edsnapshots.com.